What's up, Internet? It's your boy Vegabomber here with my next video, which of course you know what I'm talking about. Batman v Superman. Well, let it be known right off the bat that I'm definitely Team Batman if that were to be the case. So let's get into it. Well, I saw this movie last night with a group of friends. We went to the Alamo Draft House, so it was Roy and Eddie and Colleen and then a few hosts of other friends, and we were just there to finally see this film. I know some people have been waiting forever to see Batman and Superman on the screen together at the same time, and some people wanted to see them fight too as well. So that got to happen. We had to have a little bit of wish fulfillment last night. So the film, well, let's get started. Zack Snyder is the producer of this film, you know, the same guy that did 300, Watchmen, and of course Superman, the Man of Steel. Well, I can say this, the film is a good, entertaining film for sure, and of course it has a few negatives, but let's just start with the positives. And by the way, this is going to be spoiler free. I will have a spoiler heavy video that will come out probably later this weekend. I want to give you guys a chance to go see the film first. I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but speaking as non-spoilerific as I can, I'll just say this about the film. Let's just go through it with the props, and I'd say the strongest props in this case would be for some of the casting, and in particular these folks. Ben Affleck. So for all the people who thought he was going to be sorry or lame or weak, no, he didn't show up like he did in Daredevil or Jiggly or any of his other films. He showed up like the Ben Affleck we saw in Argo, and maybe even to some extent Gone Girl in the David Fincher film from I think a year ago. I liked Ben Affleck as Batman. He straight up killed it. Cinematically, the way it was written, Batman was written in this film, was excellent. It's exactly the way we want to see Batman. Dark, gritty, brooding, and able to take some people out, and is willing to take some people out if it means looking out for the greater good type deal. And he was definitely that. He was good as Bruce Wayne. He was great as the Dark Knight himself, and the voice changer deal was not a problem. I know people got on Christian Bale's voice in the last one, but that's not an issue here. So he was solid. I'd also say that Gal Gadot, or Gal Gadot, or however you want to pronounce it, I wasn't a big fan of her being picked, but I'll say that in the limited screen time that she had, she didn't mess it up. She was fine. In fact, I started to buy it the more I saw her on the screen. So the more Gal Gadot was on the screen, you know, I bought her. She played Wonder Woman with a good kind of an elegance, kind of a royalty factor about her. And, you know, it was good. Can't say anything negative about that. Henry Cavill, thought again, he did a great job as Superman. I'm going to save some other things for the spoilerific version of this, but I'll just say Henry Cavill was good. I don't know that I like the way Superman was depicted in this film. He seems a little weaker than what I would think Superman would really kind of show up with when he has that much power, but again, I'm sure it could be debated by nerds and forums all over the world on the internet, but I don't know, but we'll get to that. I'm sticking with the good stuff for the moment. I'd also say that there were feels in this movie. I like the fact that the good stuff that Zack Snyder did do is he did let scenes linger a little bit, and that was okay. He didn't jump cut the crap out of it. He let it build the impact that he was trying to get. I would also say that Hans Zimmer's sound score, soundstage, soundtrack, the sound in this movie, some of the themes when they came in, I was very conscious of them, and they fit. They were good. I liked it. I liked the different themes and tones that played when Batman was on the screen, the themes and tones you heard when Superman was on the screen, the themes and tones you heard when Wonder Woman was on the screen. Everything was unique and distinct to the character, and it fit. And so I definitely have to give Hans Zimmer some love on that, because I thought that was pretty good. Now, let's talk about maybe what didn't work so well in this film for me. And I will say, in my very non-spoilerific way, I'm sorry, I just still never bought Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. I just didn't. It's not his fault. I think Jesse Eisenberg is a great actor. I loved him in Social Network. There was some other film, I can't quite remember, where they were musician thieves or whatever. But he was playing a role that I think they said, here, play it. but it didn't fit. It just wasn't a Lex Luthor, at least for me, that I was ready to see. So I just didn't buy it much. It just seemed kind of scatterbrained. And speaking of scatterbrained, that's part of the problem with this movie as well. I would say another eye roll or a con to this film would be that you're yanked over here and you're yanked over here and you're yanked over there, and the story just, there's just elements in this movie that didn't need to be there. This movie did not need to be 2 hours and 30 minutes. It didn't need to be. There's at least 20 minutes, again, his same issue I had with him in Superman, the Man of Steel, which I loved the first half of that movie, but then the back half of the movie just went into a CGI fest. Same thing here. Now, we kind of know it's going to happen because we see in the trailer that Doomsday's there, but yeah, he did it again. He just Zack Snydered us again. First half, it gets you kind of involved, you kind of care, the feels are there, and then he CGIs the hell out of it after that. And boy, if you thought there was destruction in the first movie he did with Man of Steel, there's a lot of destruction in this one, so I don't know that he answered that. He did answer it to a degree of saying why there was the destruction. You see that in this movie, but then he created twice the destruction that was in the first movie. So I don't know. There's a disconnect going on there. So I don't know. The movie was fun though. It was entertaining, and as a Batman fan, yes, damn Skippy, I loved it. I thought it was great. Batman was on the screen. It was how I would have imagined him. I liked the suit. I liked the vehicles that he had. I liked Alfred. Batman was my deal, and he didn't disappoint. Zack Snyder didn't disappoint on that for sure. So what do I rate this film, and should you go see it? Well, first of all, the rating, in Vegabomber land, I either blow films up because they need to get detonated, because they don't need to exist anymore, or I say a film is blowing up, which is completely different. Somebody's blowing up. When a film's blowing up, when an actor's career is blowing up, it's a good thing, right? Well, I would say that this film is, it's blowing up. I would say because the film is fun, and it is entertaining, and it's the Jurassic World view, thought process on this. Jurassic World was not a great movie by any means in terms of story, plot, and characterization, but it was fun. This movie was a little better in characterization, a little bit better in plot, but still suffers in places because it was just yanking you all over the place. The pacing was really interesting. So I'll just say it this way. Go see the film. Go see the film. Batman v Superman is worth it. When you see Batman be Batman, it's worth it. Superman is good. And oh, by the way, Amy Adams, she did a great job again as Lois Lane. I don't know that you really needed Lois Lane in this film, since really most of the damage or the threat factor was not her at all. It was Superman's mom that was the one that was getting threatened. So I don't know. Again, just all these plot parts just laying around, and Zack Snyder just kind of put it together and called it a movie. But he made sure you had stunning visuals to go with it, and that's why you'll go see Batman v Superman. All right, it's your boy Bomber, and I'm out. And by the way, hang on. By the end of this weekend, or perhaps maybe Monday night, I will get you the spoilerific review where I'll get deep, deep, deep into the crevices of this film and tell you what I thought absolutely worked and what didn't. But for now, it's a good weekend. It's Good Friday. Go see the film. You'll enjoy it. It's your boy Bomber, and I'm out.